Allora, buongiorno a tutti, siamo a Legnago con il Sifu Luca Campiglio e volevo subito porti una domanda. Sifu Luca, sembri particolarmente felice oggi. Che cosa è successo di così particolare?
Certo, finalmente dopo 2 anni sono riuscito a organizzare un evento, un seminario con William Cheung e come tutti conoscete è stato l'allievo diretto di me e quindi per me è molto importante averlo qui e farlo conoscere i miei libri.
Quindi è una presenza molto importante per le persone che amano e praticano il Wing Chun.
Esatto.
Ok. Eh, come sei venuto a conoscenza, a contatto con questa disciplina e chi è stato il maestro, la persona che ti ha introdotto questa arte marziale?
Ho conosciuto e ho cominciato a praticare Wing Chun 20 anni fa, per caso, l'ho conosciuto a Verona, diciamo, il sistema. Ho cominciato con altri tipi di Wing Chun finché 17 anni fa ho conosciuto il maestro Nicola Avvocato e lui mi ha introdotto il sistema di Cheung. E tuttora sto praticando con lui Wing Chun.
Molto bene, quindi anche il maestro Gianluca Boccato è una persona che segue il metodo del Grand Master William Cheng.
Sì, infatti oggi sarà presente al seminario di William Cheung.
Perfetto, ok. Bene, quindi dopo questa piccola intervista con il Sifu Luca Campiglio we have pleasure in introducing to you the Grand Master William Cheng, who is joining us today for the seminar. So, Grandmaster Cheng, are you happy to be here in Italy with us today?
Yes, I have a good time so far, yes.
Okay, that's perfect. So, we are of course very happy and proud about your presence here in Italy. It's a very big opportunity for people doing Wing Chun to follow you for a couple of days directly from the big experience that you have in this activity.
Yes.
All right. So we just prepared a few interview, so a few questions that we will be placed if you will be so kind to ask. Okay, to answer. Sorry. So how did you meet the Grandmaster Hitman?
Yeah, this is way back in spring of 1950. I was in a swimming team, and one of the young I was only a young boy, about 10 years old, and one of the young boys was Wang Manleung, and he was Wang Shenleung's brother. So he told me that his brother, Wang Shenleung, was doing boxing and had been challenging Kung Fu master to some sparring session and winning, and at that time, I didn't know anything about martial art or kung fu, and he asked me whether I would be interested if Wang Shenleung, his brother, going to challenge this man from China doing women's kung fu.
Okay.
Right. So, we all thought that was very funny that, somebody was doing kung fu that invented by a woman.
Okay.
And so we were going to go there to watch Wang Shenleung sort of put him down on the ground, right?
So that was your very first contact with the Kung Fu?
Yeah. So on that day, when Wang Shenleung was doing boxing, dancing in front of Yip Man.
Okay.
And then Yip Man just walk in and jump in and put him on the ground. And then 2 times later that he was put down on the ground, and we decided we better leave, So 5 months later, Wang Manleung told me that Wang Shenleung was training with Yip Man. So I said, wow, great, that is the Kung Fu style I want to do.
Okay.
So I went to train with Yip Man. Yeah.
That's perfect. Okay. So the Master Hitman teaches apparently the traditional Wing Chun system to you only, but their children are not doing that. They do the modified system. Is there a reason about that?
Yeah, because right through the development of Wing Chun, as only one person will be inherited, will be taught the traditional Wing Chun, because at that time they were going to train the army when they have the opportunity to overthrow the Manchu government. Yeah. So they didn't want the Manchu government to steal it, so that every generation they were only allowed to teach one person. And I was very lucky. I was at that time, 1954. I was living with Ip Man, as a living student.
All right.
And he probably observed
your style and your preparation for this kung fu.
Yeah, to my character and everything.
Okay.
So he decided to pass on to me.
Or this knowledge to you.
Yeah.
That's okay. Right. So why, at the point of your life, you decided to move from China to Australia, where you actually live, if I am right?
In the year of 1950 to 1958, because China was just turned communism, and they were purging the triads from China. So all the triad gang, they all came down to Hong Kong and Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, and so on. And the triad gang are very serious, very bad.
Okay.
They want to recruit young people. I mean, as young as 10 years old.
Okay.
In fact, Bruce Lee in the early 50s was the target for the triads.
Okay.
So I helped him to keep away, I helped him to make the triad keep away from him and leave him alone. But there's a lot of also young people that are being targeted by the triad, Chinese mafia.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and then in those days, you can challenge the one-on-one challenge match, and I won most of them, and then they got better fighter to challenge me, and they still lose. So the triad, the gangsters, were protected by the police. The police were protected by the politicians. So that's why
it's a chain.
It's just a chain.
It's a chain.
So they lose face and they lose money, and so I was their prime enemy.
Okay.
So at one point that they have gave my father an ultimatum that I must leave Hong Kong, by the end of 1958.
Okay.
So in fact, I got onto the boat in 1958 Christmas Eve, to go to Australia.
Right. Okay. So now, of course, we have a question that everybody is asking for, and it's about which was your relation with Bruce Lee and how did you meet him?
Yeah, I met Bruce when he was at his 9 years old birthday. And Bruce was already a very famous child star, movie star in Hong Kong already. And but my impression of Bruce and after I met him is completely different, because I thought Bruce was a hero and could protect, could defeat any bullies and so on. But In fact, when I got to his house, and his family was very superstitious.
Okay.
And so because his elder brother died was very young, so the family believed that the devil was stealing
Oh.
the lives from the
Okay.
family.
All right.
So the family dressed him and dressed him as a girl when he's at home.
All right.
And they believe that when he turned 9 years old, it will be 10 in Chinese calendar,
Okay.
so that he's allowed to get back to. So when I went up there, he was changing from a skirt
Okay.
to a pair of
To
pants,
trousers.
to trousers,
Okay.
and I was so disappointed.
All right. Okay. So then, what do you think about the Bruce Lee Jeet Kune Do? And in your opinion, do you think there is someone in the world able to teach Jeet Kune Do correctly, as Bruce Lee was doing?
Bruce was very, after he trained, start training Wing Chun in 1954, and he trained very hard, because he wasn't a very big person,
Okay.
and he would be never stop training. Even though when he's talking to you, he would
He
be
was training anyway.
he was doing something
Okay.
very, very annoying. And but he progressed very fast. And also, Bruce had very high instep. He never walked on his heels. He always on his toes, on the front ball of the foot. So he got very good balance, and he moved very fast. Jeet Kune Do, he was developed Jeet Kune Do in starting 1957. And the whole idea, the principle of Jeet Kune Do is that Bruce say, okay, the leg is longer than the fist.
Right.
To intercepting the fist coming to him, he could use a short kick, a low kick to the other person's knee or shin, or even low part of the body, to stop, to intercept the fist. So that is the principle of Jeet Kune Do. But to do that, you have to be very balanced, and also you have to be very agile with the feet. So unless the people who practice Jeet Kune Do that have that sort of foundation, it would be very hard for them to reproduce that sort of effect.
Right. Okay, then coming back to the Wing Chun system, is there an age that you suggest a person could start to practice Wing Chun? And which are, in your opinion, the main advantages of the Wing Chun if compared to other styles?
Wing Chun is very unique. It's unlike any other martial art, And Wing Chun, because you need to get the balance, coordination, so your body has to be alert but relaxed. You cannot tense, so you slow yourself down. And in fact, before you even using the technique to fight, you are actually training to synchronize the mind with the heart. So when you come to a situation, you don't get too excited.
All right.
When you're too excited, your adrenal acid get to the heart rate races, and then you lost coordination, lost balance, and so on. And then the second thing is we have a special program to train the eyes so that the eye know where to look and how to open up the peripheral vision.
Okay.
So even open up to 180 degrees. So, and then the balance is very important. because before Wing Chun, even now there's a lot of system. They're using the shoulder and hip to get the power.
Yeah.
But what if they missed? What if they
All right.
get blocked?
Okay.
And then they will lose balance and very hard for them to recover.
Okay.
But Wing Chun, every move is in perfect balance, you know.
Okay.
So there's a lot of difference to
From
all
the
the
Wing Chun
other.
to the other styles.
And also most of them they punch with the horizontal punch. So the horizontal punch coming out is only got the elbow behind, so that's why they must use the shoulder and hip. But Wing Chun is punching with the elbow in and then the punch. So the elbow, the shoulder, the whole body is behind the punch. You don't need to do extra
To move,
things. Yeah.
okay, do extra
So,
movements.
and also the punch like that is this short. The punch like that is this long.
Right.
So it must be faster than, you
Right,
know.
because the
Yeah.
distance is shorter.
And a lot of the other system, they swinging their punches takes much longer. You know, 6 times longer.
Then the
and-
Wing Chun one.
Right, and then Wing Chun use 2 arms at the same time, they can block and strike at the same
Okay.
time.
That's
So,
correct.
so this the strategy and the technique is very important.
Very important. Okay, thank you. So now we have a question about another style. The name is Krav Maga.
Mm.
That apparently is often considered very similar to the Wing Chun.
Yeah.
What do you think about
Yeah,
that?
we have, I have, one of my students have a very big influence in Karl McGrath. That was before the September 11. The Israel Special Force sent six officers to come down to train with my student. Yeah, his name is Keith Massa in New Jersey. And then when the September 11 happened,
Okay.
5 of them went back except Ruddick, a big big boy.
Okay.
And he stayed for another 2 years. He completed Wing Chun. So when he went back, all the instructor of Karl McGrath was testing him, and he defeated all of them.
All of them.
And then they sent him to a double length of surface in Iraq. And, but they did copy a few things. They do have the bounce out, they do have the laps out, they do have the some parts out.
things are similar.
But they still don't have the traditional Wing Chun fighting strategy.
Okay.
Watch one point and fight on the blind side.
That's correct. Perfect. And what about the MMA?
MMA, it started with the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay.
They just fight on the ground. But most people, because it's so new, they don't know what to do with it. So they won most of the fights.
All right.
And then MMA was, UFC was purchased by, actually, I know this friend of mine, Art Davies. Art Davies bought a UFC, but at that time, there were only 3 cities in America
Okay.
could stage UFC fights. So he lost a lot of money. So eventually he sold it to the Lorenzo brothers.
Okay.
So the Lorenzo brothers got a lot of political influence. And so almost every city in America could stage MMA fights now, right? So MMA is only include Muay Thai because if it's useless, they don't want it, right? only boxing, Muay Thai, and wrestling.
Wrestling.
So you will find most of the champions are from these three categories, but they do have to know the other two. Right? If they were a Muay Thai expert, and they do have to know boxing, and then they do have to know this. But and then what we want to do is to put Wing Chun up there and say, look, MMA, mixed martial art without traditional Wing Chun, you are not mixed everything.
Okay.
Right. So we will tell them
Okay.
traditional Wing Chun is coming.
Perfect. So then, how do you see the evolution of the Wing Chun style for the future?
Well, I have spent almost 62, 63 years training in Wing Chun. And also, when I, Yip Man's teacher, Legnago, was a very good medicine doctor, Chinese medicine doctor. So when Yip Man died, I inherited all the prescription, all the formulas, and so on, and and I also spend a lot of time to research and also go to university and got my doctorate degree, and also I lecture in Chinese medicine. I think in the old days, martial art or kung fu and medicine go hand in hand.
Okay.
Right. So I think the way I want to promote it is to actually have the minimum standard for the instructors to know so much Chinese medicine in case of emergency.
Okay.
Somebody collapse.
Right.
How to revive
How to help
him.
him.
Yeah. How to make sure he does not suffocate or die.
Right. Right. Okay. So now a direct question. So, who do you think could be the successor of Mr. Of the Grandmaster Cheung for the future? And which are the characteristics that the person who will be following you must have?
Yeah. What I'm doing now is, in fact, I got invited to Shaolin Temple in China, in Henan. Shaolin Temple in China. This temple has been there for over 1,600 years. There are also Northern Shaolin and Southern Shaolin are the people, are the soldier monk that he sent over to develop Southern Shaolin and Northern Shaolin. So I was invited by the abbot to bring traditional Wing Chun back to Shaolin and to establish, to erect a black marble plaque. And some of the plaque in the Shaolin temple has been there 1,600 years. So what I would want to do also, the abbot also want me to do is to, for me to teach selective soldier monks to fight in MMA to win a few championships.
Okay.
And then I would establish a research center for Wing Chun, and everybody is welcome to come into the research center to do scientific research to make the art go much more effective. Because in the last few years I have trained at least 2 world boxing champions.
All right.
And one of them retired, and then another one is still fighting nowadays. So he's using traditional Wing Chun technique because to be specific, a system to be good, it has to be scientific and effective. You know?
Right.
So that's what I have in mind.
Okay, that's perfect. So, last question is, you really think Wing Chun will be back to the Shaolin Temple definitely?
Yeah, yeah, we have already done a lot of work and so on. And the erecting of the black marble plaque will be on the 9th of November, and we have written to most of the Wing Chun schools and so on, inviting them to participate. And we also have a few celebrities and movie stars that will be coming to witness. You know, like Mike Tyson, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Tucker, and James. You know, this is a few of them movie stars. Yeah. And also on the 10th to the 12th, we have a 3-day seminar, and you know, they can attend. Outside people can attend to be trained by me amongst all the soldier monks that I select. So it will be, you know, the seminar is to deal with how to deal with MMA. You know? Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much for the interview, and we hope you will enjoy your time in Italy, and we are sure all the guys who are going to participate to your seminar in this weekend will be very happy and proud about that.
Thank you. Thank you for your hospitality.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.